Now, though, it is just under a week until deadline day. More than 70,000 self-employed people across Leicestershire are being urged to complete their self-assessment tax forms. This is very important. HMRC says that out of 12 million returns due in the UK, 3.4 million customers are yet to complete theirs. But for some, it can be a daunting process. It's understandable. Tax can be a scary thing. So to help us is Zee Shan from Smartfield Accountants in Leicester. He joins us now with some advice. Zee Shan, hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Now, how have you managed to make the time for a radio interview on the 25th of January when I know that this is an incredibly busy time for accountants?
It is very busy time, and all the returns got to be in by 31st of January. So if people who haven't submitted their returns in, please get them in as soon as possible.
So what do we need to know, Zee Shan? 31st of January is the deadline.
31st January is the deadline. The starting point is to have your login details ready, because even if you're not submitting your return in today, make sure that your login details are ready. So even if you're submitting on the last day, you don't get stuck with the login details, because if you can't log in, you can't submit.
Okay. And who is this for? Who is it that has to actually complete the self-assessment?
Generally, it would be self-employed individuals. So small business owners, freelancers, landlords would also need to complete it. You would have company directors who are receiving dividends from the company. Also employees who earn more than 100,000. So they've got to submit a return in, because their personal allowance reduces when they earn more than 100,000.
And what happens if you don't submit your self-assessment by January 31st?
Oh, HMRC are not happy with that, and they penalised with a £100 penalty. But some people may have a reasonable excuse for not submitting it on time. So, for example, a death in the family, or IT issue, or child not feeling well just before the deadline. So there can be reasonable excuses, but I would urge people to submit the returns in on time.
And how are the payments made? Is it a lump sum?
The tax liabilities are spread. So first you've got to submit the return by 31st January and also make the payment by 31st of January. If for some reason you're unable to make the payment by 31st January, then set up a payment plan with HMRC.
Okay.
So the payments can be spread.
Okay. So other than your login, what else do you need to make sure that you've got in order to complete that self-assessment?
So first, have the login ready. Once you've logged in, then ensure that you disclose all the income properly. One of the most common thing that is being omitted is the self-employment grant. Because HMRC have given out these grants to self-employed individuals, some people think that because the government has given it to us, they already know about it and we don't need to put it on the return. But that's not the case. A tax return is a summary of an individual's income for the year. So they have to disclose even the self-employment grant they've received.
Okay. And is there anything else that you need to just make sure you're aware of, the kind of common mistakes as an accountant that you come across quite regularly?
Yeah, so disclose the income properly. Claim the correct expenses. Don't claim incorrect expenses like personal expenses. So don't claim for your holiday travel. Don't claim for your general clothing, and don't claim for online gaming and videos. Stick to business expenses. Claim all of them. Don't miss out on your claims, because if you don't claim the expense, then obviously your profit would be higher and your liability would be higher as well.
Okay. What is it like for you being an accountant at this time of year?
It is quite stressful.
So Zee Shan's really come on the radio to say, come on guys, please get everything in, because it's really stressful. This is a plea.
but what keeps us going is the sense of achievement. So every time you submit a return, you feel that sense of achievement that you've achieved something.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would say that you guys have that same sense of achievement by submitting your return in today.
And is this the most stressful time of year for you?
every year.
It's so funny because I mean I have a bit of an accounting background, so that's how I know it,
Yes.
and I'm so glad that I'm not in your situation right now. But it's funny because we're all maybe looking forward to January and a new year, and the accountants of the world are just thinking, no, oh my gosh, it's going to be the most stressful time of year. How is it going there in the office? How's it going?
So far, so good.
Good.
We're nearly towards the end. We've only got 6 more days to go now. So we've still got the energy to survive those 6 days, I think. And I think the opportunity is going to increase because right now, as you said, 12 million returns are submitted.
Mm.
HMRC have got proposals to convert that into making tax digital, which means that instead of submitting one return a year, those individuals would need to submit 4 returns in a year. So you can imagine the amount of
Work.
opportunity or work that's available there. So I would encourage students who are considering to be an accountant, please do become an accountant because we need you.
So why is it going from 1 to 4? Tell us about that.
So what HMRC are saying is that instead of submitting one return a year and then making a payment by 31st of January, please submit quarterly returns.
Okay.
So then we're getting a quarterly update of what your income level is like.
Mm-hmm.
And it's thought to be that in future they would want us to pay the tax on a quarterly basis as well. So that's the incentive
Zee Shan,
behind doing this.
have you seen an increase in people turning to sort of being self-employed, especially over the pandemic when maybe individuals decided to change careers or take something up that was slightly different? What's your experience?
Since the pandemic, because we've now come across new ways of working.
Yeah.
So the market has opened up. You're not now restricted to just one employment in your locality where you can just walk in or drive to. Now the world is open to you. So you could be doing subcontract work for somebody in America. So like, for example, a web developer, they can be working for somebody across the globe in Australia maybe. So because the opportunity has opened up, people have registered for self-employment, and it's much easier to deliver on those services because you're not restricted to just physical means of delivery. It's now digital.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I hear you. Listen, Zee Shan, give us those details again. 31st of January is the deadline.
31st of January is the deadline. Please make sure that you've got your login details. Please declare all your income properly, claim all the expenses, and don't claim the wrong expenses.
And if you're a student, consider accountancy.
Definitely. We need you.
Zee Shan, thank you so much for your time. Zee Shan Bawani there from Smartfield's Accountants.